Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bourbon Booze. It's coffee time. Today's Wednesday. It's coffee time, and I am back. I've been out of the country for a while, so all the coffee episodes you've been seeing for about the last month, at least a month of June, were all pre-recorded before I left. And I had been in the UK for just around 28 days visiting and hanging out with some of my most excellent family, my grandkids and my daughter. And I visited a couple distilleries and brought back some really good samples for us to use on the show for the whiskey days. And I think my wife actually brought back a Monday episode, non-whiskey episode sample. And I also brought back some coffees. So the coffee episodes are going to continue to go on, roll through probably the end of the year. We'll see. We just keep buying them because we really enjoy coffee, and I hope you enjoy coffee as well. So Wednesdays will always be coffee time, at least through 2021. This is a very special coffee that we picked up on our visits to Tennessee, which was probably 4 months ago, I guess, 5 months ago. We went to Tennessee and did some distillery tours, and we went to Jack Daniel's. We picked up a ton of stuff. If you've been following on Instagram, you know that I came home with close to, just over 100 bottles of alcohol from distilleries throughout Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas. It was a great time. But we also picked up coffees. And so today we have a very special coffee that I've been looking forward to, and that is from the Good Folks Coffee Company, or the Good Folks. It's the Pappy and Company's Bourbon Aged Coffee. So here's the container. This is a Guatemalan coffee. I believe it's a Arabica, and it's a medium dark roast. It's aged in Pappy Van Winkle barrels. So the founders of the Pappy and Company coffee group are the grandkids, or great-grandkids, I guess, grandkids of the famed Pappy Van Winkle distiller. And so now that Buffalo Trace Weller, I think it's Buffalo Trace, do Pappy Van Winkle, I'm sure that they're associated with them. But they have these Pappy Van Winkle barrels, which, if you don't know Pappy Van Winkle, if you're watching the show, you should know who Pappy Van Winkle is because you're a whiskey fan. Pappy Van Winkle is the probably the unicorn of unicorns of whiskey that everybody wants. I've actually tried some Van Winkle before, and it was decent, not really worth the price. But these beans are aged or matured in a Pappy Van Winkle barrel. And so the first thing I noticed, I ground them myself in my coffee grinder to a light, it's a dark roast, but to almost a espresso. It's a coarse to very fine light grind. And the first thing I noticed was the aroma. It's got a very unusual coffee aroma. It smells good. It's not unpleasant, but it's very unusual that it's got a little bit of, actually quite a bit of nuttiness to it, but kind of an odd medicinal, which I would assume is the aging of the beans in a whiskey barrel, a bourbon barrel. It's kind of weird for coffee. But it's a nutty, it's really hard to explain. I don't know how to describe this coffee. In fact, let's go ahead and pull out Andy's flavor wheel. And so it's not very sweet at all. The flavor of it is exactly like the smell. So you have that kind of walnut nuttiness to it. It's not a oaky wood. See, he's got here maybe a toasted oaky, but more of an almond walnut nuttiness to it. Maybe even pecan. No, more of an walnut. Yeah, a walnut nuttiness to it. Maybe a little almond. No real big nuttiness to it. No floral or fruitiness to it. If it's a fruity, it's going to be a very, I don't know, almost dry, dark fruit. So nothing citrusy. It's very unusual, and it's interesting. It's really good. I don't think I'd want it every day, but it's interesting. Let's see, nothing else here. Maybe hints of chocolate, a little bit of dark chocolate. Andy's wheel is no good to me on this. I guess I need a whole new wheel for coffee tasting. But yeah, this is very unusual. The website doesn't really give any type of flavor profile on it, which most companies will give a flavor profile for their coffees. This one doesn't. And it's not, all my beans are in my grinder. I have this really cool electronic grinder. It doesn't really give any information. It's all blank. And on the front it just says, bourbon barrel aged coffee, small batch coffee carefully aged in Pappy Van Winkle bourbon barrels and roasted by the Good Folks Roasting Company. It's Guatemalan dark roast. Let's see if I can, having a little trouble identifying this. Tell me what you think. If you have picked this up, it cost quite a bit. It's $22 for this small bag. I think it was an 10 ounce bag. It wasn't a pound. It's $22. I have no idea how much my wife got it for in Tennessee. She picked it up. I wasn't even aware about this. I think she saw it at a liquor store and she picked it up as a surprise for me, and I didn't even find out about it until we got home. So if you've had it, let me know what you think about it. Is it something that you would suggest that other people get, or is it not worth the cost? Right now, it's interesting. It's not something that I would drink every day, but I'm not disappointed with it. But I don't know that I would spend $22, so I don't suggest getting it unless you are a coffee hunter. Like I have literally, dozens and dozens and dozens of different types of coffee, because you follow the show and you know. In fact, this is probably episode 60 or so on coffee. Yeah, you could pick it up then, but I'm not sure that I would recommend this for anybody to go pick up as a coffee of choice for everyday drinking. But it's pretty cool. And I don't know if they have any other kind of flavors. I don't know if they're watching, they can, or if you've had some, you can definitely leave that in the information down below. But it's a nice dark color. It's got a nuttiness to it, kind of a walnut, almondy nuttiness to it. Probably the remnants of that barrel-aged Pappy in there is giving it a little bit of this. I'd really like to, we've done a couple whiskey coffees. I think we got another Jack Daniels coming up. We've done one Jack Daniels. It's more mainstream, the Jack Daniels that you can buy in stores coffee. But we have a craft coffee that we got in Lynchburg that's done with Jack Daniels. So yeah, I think most of the, just blabbering here, most of the coffee that we've gotten that's been associated with whiskey has been roasted and infused with whiskey. This is actually barrel aged. So that's probably a difference. I don't know, tell us what you think. I hope you have a great Wednesday and you look forward to the coming fall because it's pretty hot here. Make sure you check out all of our other videos. Monday we do oddities, non-whiskey alcohols, liqueurs, tequilas, vodkas, rums, whatever. Tuesday and Thursday is definitely set aside for whiskey or whiskey-related alcohol, so they could be a flavored liqueur, whiskey flavored in there. Wednesday, coffee, and then of course on Friday we have cocktails, and we have a blast making cocktails. Sometimes we do mainstream cocktails, and a lot of times we just come up with weird stuff. So check those out. Make sure you do hit the like and subscribe. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and merchandise. And have a happy Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow for whiskey.